everyone. It is Wednesday. Wednesday, I tell you, it is. I checked the calendar. It is Wednesday. How are you this Wednesday? What are you grateful for today? Tell me about your day. And what you are grateful for. That's what I want to know. That is what I want to know. What is great in your world this Wednesday? Because after all, it is hump day. Hump day, people, of this crazy holiday week. It is a crazy holiday week, and it is hump day. Where is that supposed to plug in? Let's do it here. There we go. Hey, the Queen is here. Hey, Vicky, great to have you here tonight. How are things in Georgia? Georgia. I got Georgia on my mind. Hey, Kelly, how are you? Hope all is well in Albuquerque. Hello, Kitty. I'm glad you had the day off, but it sounds like you worked all day at home and stuff at home. Yeah, short weeks do always seem longer. Oh, I'm glad all is good. Jennifer, good to have you here. I thought you'd be watching Mike tonight. Isn't it Mike? Or I get the name wrong. I thought you'd be skipping me for Mike. I hope all is well. I hope you guys are safe. Happy anniversary to you and Brad. Happy anniversary to you and Brad. Somebody should bake something from the flower pantry. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Well, it is good to have you all here. I'm glad to hear so many people with good stuff going on. My driver showed up today, my new driver, so that's a good thing. Already asked questions about tomorrow, which is a good thing. Aha! Gracie baked you cookies. That's awesome. That's awesome. The hurricane's over. That's good. I didn't miss anything. Although we actually had like hail today. We had a flash storm come through. But I am glad everybody's safe from the hurricane. I'm glad all is well, and I'm glad Gracie baked you cookies. I hope you had a good class tonight. I hope that was good. Ours always went later. I don't even know what time it is. Well, it's almost 9. Yeah, we always went after 9 every night. But ours was in person. But, I'm glad class was great. I'm glad you're getting so much out of it. I can't wait to start on my work for them that they have got me doing. Later this month, I have a meeting on that. So exciting stuff. Sometimes you get out early. Oh, that never happened in our world. You got a softie for a teacher then, but you have those other meetings. It's all good. Let's get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is where we start next. Start the program every night. Tonight we're on page 34. Good morning. The moment that connects you to your true passion might be on the other side of breakfast, or just a baby step there. Let's see. Baby steps, people. Baby steps. That is what we talk about. Slight edge change. It's not lighting the world on fire. It is how do we take baby steps to get to where we want to be. It's all these incremental changes that we're making that get us where we want to be. I got some, I got a little bit of news that we got to cover here to keep you in the loop. Our friends at the Department of Labor, former Boston Mayor Marty Walsh, I've I've talked to a lot of you individually about the salary threshold, because you've asked me about that and everything, or looked at putting people on salary. So I've had that conversation on the side. I don't know that we've directly had it on here, but I'm expecting the Department of Labor to, increase the current standard, which is roughly what, 35 grand? Does this give me a number? I want to say it's 35 and change. I usually call it 36. Okay, it doesn't tell me on here. And the way they're trying, what the Biden administration is trying to do with a lot of things through regulation, what they've learned through several administrations, is do more regulations early. It's harder to undo in the next administration, which is true. Okay. And so they are, Secretary Walsh has said that, you can bank on an increase and don't bank on a small one or a single one. So he wants to get this. He wants to get the salary threshold set to automatic increases. So if it's currently just under 36,000, 35 and change, he wants to get that index to have steady increases. So, there are people that are saying, well, maybe he'll just do 5,000 increments of 5,000 or something. Maybe he'll do 10,000. There are people saying as much as 30,000. Nothing is real yet. I remember meeting with Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, before, and she'd like it in the $70,000 range and then index. So, basically, I avoid putting anybody on salary unless they're north of 50, well north of 50,000 at this point. Would be my recommendation until we get a better idea of what's going to come out of the Department of Labor on this, because you may not get the bang for the buck that you think you are, and you still may be subject to paying them overtime on hours worked over 40. So that is an important thing. Cincinnati Insurance, which is an actual insurance company, one in, we're going to see lots of these cases, but this is the first one that hit the U.S. The federal courts. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit was the first federal appeals court to directly address what's the term I'm looking for? Lost income. Lost income insurance, basically, from the pandemic. I'm really at a loss of words tonight. Because basically, if you do not have a tangible property damage, that's the language that the Circuit Court of Appeals ruled on. If you don't have tangible property damage, then there is no claim. There's no claim for what's the real term that everybody's using? Why am I? Because the pandemic. Thank you, Kitty. I don't know why my mind is drawing a blank on that tonight. Business interruption insurance. Thank you for filling in the blanks. So yes, unless there is a physical damage, there is nothing happening with that, is what the Circuit Court of Appeals says. The insured while not continuing to fight it, where they're expecting possible relief in this is in state court versus federal court. The insurance companies have been getting these transferred to federal court. It's actually insurance policies are regulated at the state level. So there's actually a strong argument for a state Supreme Court to weigh in on this. That has not happened yet. So, but, quite honestly, until Congress does something and creates a backstop for business interruption insurance, kind of like they did after 9/11, nothing's happening with this. I mean, none of these claims are going anywhere. And the only people making money on this right now is the lawyers. The lawyers are this is going to drag out for years. We could pick up a news story 5 years from now and we'll still be talking about it. I missed some things here. Rose had a slow day. Well, I'm glad nothing major in your area and just a lot of rain. But sorry for a slow day, Rose. But tomorrow is another day. No, you can have someone work, Jennifer, under the salary cap, whatever the salary cap is. Let's say the salary cap is raised to 50,000 from 36 to 50. You can have people work under that. The issue is if they work overtime, you still have to pay them for it. Okay, would be the issue. So if they work over 40, which a lot of the big companies do things where they expect their employees to work 45 or 50 on a salaried retail store manager basis, for example, or assistant manager, they expect them to work 45 or 50 hours. And under this, they would have to pay time and a half for anything over 40 if their salary is below the threshold. And that would include, a lot of the big guys then add in bonuses and other things, but that wouldn't be counted towards the threshold. It would be just what is straight salary. But it's going to be interesting. The Department of Labor policies are going to be very pro-union, very pro-labor. I mean, this is Marty Walsh and Joe Biden's thing. So it's just important to be aware of them and understand them. So that is the important aspect there. And just so you know, things are really the threshold is just under 36,000. It's 35 and change. I want to say 35,536 or something. It's 35 and change is the current threshold. So I always call it 36 so that I don't fall on the wrong side of the math. The the Obama administration had tried to get it to 48. And there are a lot of people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren who want it much, much higher. And they did not like the argument sitting with them or sitting with Elizabeth Warren and talking about how much she was paying her staffers that worked countless hours, well over 40 in a week, running around to stuff for her. So that was not, while a very valid argument, you got to remember government is excluded from all these different rulings. So, when you have that conversation with the senator in her office, and I'm like, well, does that, basically that peon over there who's working 60 hours a week for you, running around 70 hours a week, does he make that? He's on a salary. So while the staffers marginally appreciated that, that was going nowhere with the senator. Nowhere. But government is exempt from all that. Government is exempt for all that. We are broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook. So if you have any problems with Facebook, you can hop on over to YouTube. Just to tell you how weird things still are out there, Target okay, in San Francisco, Target in San Francisco is closing all their stores in the San Francisco area at 6 p.m. now. Okay, they're doing that to curb a rise in shoplifting. Okay, there's massive shoplifting happening in the San Francisco area right now. And so Target, to minimize that and to get a handle on it, has is now closing all their stores at 6 p.m. versus the normal 10 o'clock. And they're also opening later as well. And so part of that is to keep a higher concentration of staff in the store for longer. But I mean, that it's getting so bad that Target has to close their stores early is pretty crazy. They're calling it an alarming rise in shoplifting. Personally, I think eventually we'll hear that the alarming rise partially has an inside scoop on that. Whether somebody's feeding them store schedules of where staff is assigned in the store or what. There's some other component to that they haven't figured out yet. And that's a lot of hours. That's a lot of hours, and it's a lot of payroll hours that are then getting reduced. So now people aren't working till 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. If the store is open till 10, call it 11 o'clock till the store to close down the store and everything. So you're not having that extra payroll. The economic effects of this are not just on Target; it is on all the people that are working there. Our friends at the National Retail Federation, have said retail sales are growing far faster than expected, far faster. And the result of that has them revising their sales forecasts upward again for the year. Now pushing almost 4.6 trillion. Expecting a growth over 2020, which 2020 did beat 2019, of between 10.5% and 13.5%. Okay, is what they are now predicting for retail sales for this year. But a lot is dependent on that. There are a lot of supply chain issues out there, and that's what we continue to talk about. The supply chain issues are very, very real. And the lack of inventory in stores is a real problem. But it's not going to be a problem for you. That's why we keep on talking about it. I was working on a sheet that would do a spreadsheet for you all that would do all the math for you for our inventory project. And I was working on this. And then we lost power when our storms came through. So then my spreadsheet got corrupted. So I do not have that, but I'm going to give you the next step. Okay, I'm going to give you the next step tonight. I'm giving you the next step. Okay, so again, we've got inventory units for the month. Inventory dollars at the end of the month. Inventory dollars, the report, what you are looking for is how much inventory in dollars and units you had at the end of the month for all 6 months, first 6 months of this year, January, February, March, April, May, and June. Units and dollars of inventory. Then you are looking at sales, okay, for those months, and units that you sold. So number of sales you made and number of units that you had you sold. Now, and that you're doing that for January through June. That's dollars and units. So total dollars, total units. The next number that you need to figure out, the next math part, okay, and I will try to recreate the spreadsheet that I almost had done today. I want to kick my computer. I want to kick the computer when the weather came through here. Is you want to figure out the percentage of the previous month's inventory so that you sold in the current month, because we're spitballing sell-through is what we're doing. We're spitballing sell-through. And what you do to get that percentage, so let's say you were trying to figure out the percentage of January's inventory that you sold. Okay, this is not 100% sell-through math game, okay, but it's giving us a spitball of what you're selling to figure out how much more inventory we need to add to this mix, because you're gonna, as part of the fall and winter surge, you're going to see a increase in what you're selling of what you already have, but you also need to add more to the pot to get the best result. Okay, you need to add more inventory to the pot. So you're taking, to get this percentage, you're taking, for example, to get February's number, you're taking February's sales and dividing it by the January end of month inventory to get the percentage. That will give you the percentage. So February sales dollars divided by January's end of month inventory dollars will give you a percentage. And you're going to do that for each month. You're going to take March's sales and divide it into February's inventory dollars. You're going to take April's sales and divide it into March's end of month inventory dollars. You're going to take May's and divide it into April's. May's sales divided into April's inventory, and so on, to get your percentages. That is the next step in your homework. That is the next step. And I will have a spreadsheet that does this for you, that you plug in your sales and your inventory numbers for. I was this close, this close. Save your work, people, save your work. I'm like, oh, this is a quick and dirty spreadsheet. I'm like doing it on the fly. I'm like, save your work. And the autosave function's usually pretty good, but it didn't, it created a bad file for me. But I should be able to, you lost me at hello. Okay, Rose. Well, I will get you my sheet and instructions tomorrow. I will, when I post the sheet and instructions, it will make sense. I have talked numbers enough, and it's been a long enough week already, that I know talking about it versus giving you a visual is hard. So I didn't want to ignore the inventory topic tonight, but I know how important it is to have that sheet with the instructions, and that's what I will get you. I will get you so I don't lose you at hello. So I don't lose you at hello, Rose. I will do a nice sheet on that. I want to do it for everybody, not just for you. Not just for you, but for you and all your friends. For you and all your resale friends. I will do that. I will. I will get that done. One other piece that I wanted to cover, well, two other pieces, I guess. Cover that another time. Two things. One, I don't know if you've noticed it in the advertising, okay, if you've caught any ads for Lowe's or Home Depot, but their focus has shifted, okay? They know they are losing the DIYers now, the people that are doing work on their own. So they are shifting their focus, okay, to the pros. They are all in on the pros at this point, trying to milk anything they can get out of the pros for this pandemic, because they know they've lost the attention span of the DIYers, because they're getting back to the office, because they're doing other things. They're going out to eat. They're going on trips, okay? July 4th weekend was the first time since 2019 the first time since the pandemic, actually, excuse me. The first time since the pandemic that a weekend of air travel has beat 2019. The number of people that the TSA has screened had exceeded the same time in 2019. So that's encouraging, but that is not encouraging if you are Lowe's and Home Depot. So they are shifting their focus back to the pros and trying to milk anything else they can out of this pandemic and the growth in this pandemic. So that is incredibly important to note, because again, that goes with the same shift. You're going to see this shift to clothing. That's why I keep on talking about it. You're going to see this shift away from furniture. It's not that these sales are going to drop off a cliff, but it's not going to be the highs that it has been. It is not going to be the incredible highs that it has been. And that is why that's so important. And just for looking forward, okay, Forrester Research is saying that stores, that brick and mortar place, the physical building, you go in and you touch things and you see things and you buy things, that will still, by 2024, and I think their thing is low, but it's very believable. 75% of all retail sales will still happen in a physical store in 2024, according to Forrester Research. And, we're in the high 80s, low 90s, depending on what period you're exactly looking at, even with the pandemic. So yes, that number is going to go down. I mean, because online can only go up. But it is important to note that even just years from now, they are still talking. The majority of transactions will still happen in a physical store, and that the store is still the center. Good stores, well-run stores are still the center of what's happening. What's at the center of what's happening here? This video and everything that I talk about, goes over to narts.org/resale strong by noon the next day. All the files, all the references, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. You can share it with everybody so we can help everybody make it to the other side. We're going to help everybody make it to the other side. Yes, we are. I am here every night at More 8 Than Ish, streaming on Facebook and YouTube every night. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we kick it off. If you were not here at the top of the program, our good morning tonight on page 34 was Good Morning. The moment that connects you to your true passion might be on the other side of breakfast, or just a baby step there. Let's see. Our good night tonight is good night. The moment that connects you to your true passion might be on the other side of tonight, or just a baby step there. Let's see. There's your graphics, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at More 8 Than Ish, know that you, and you, but more importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. It's time for dessert.